Oh, good morning. We're gathering for coffee with Casper. Here we go. We're getting up online. Casper's here. Everybody got your beverage of choice, your hot drink, your morning thing. Good morning, good morning. Oh, ouch. Careful with that paw, big boy. Careful with that paw. You're going to get the microphones and everything. Okay. Okay, we are seeing if we're up. We are getting an image. We are live on Facebook. Yay, good deal. Nice to see you this morning. I can now see you. We're up and running. Let me know where you are. Say hi. Casper's saying hi. He's anxious this morning. David from Boise. All right, good to see you this morning, Dave. All right, good morning. Aloha from Honolulu. Good morning from Oregon. Good morning from North Carolina. All right, we are loving it. Nice to see you. Also, Loretta from Boise. All right, nice to see everybody. Glad we're gathering. It's almost 8:30. The Casper boys here. All right, got our thing. We're getting ready to roll. All righty. Nice to see you all this morning. We're waiting to see where. Let me know where you're checking in from. We're glad to have you on Coffee with Casper. We're gathering with Lightworkers, and I'm Harry Morgan Moses, and this is Coffee with Casper. And here we go. It's 8:30. Glad to have you with us this morning. Good morning from Palm Desert. All right. Nice to see everybody this morning. All right, here we go. Let's take a deep breath in. Let out the sound. One more time. Nice, big, deep, penetrating breath. Let it go all the way down to your feet and toes. And let that breath come up into your heart center. And we're just dropping now into our hearts. And we're gathering, a bunch of light workers gathering all around the world so that we can bring more light. So what's happening is we are involved in a time in human history and earth history, actually, and since we're all in this together, where we are releasing obsolete patterns that don't serve anymore. And sometimes clearing these things out takes time. And it looks like we are sometimes taking a step forward and then two steps back. Good morning, Angelica Jane from Eureka, California. All right, glad to see you this morning. So, one of the things I've had to deal with for many years is circulation issues, which came from blood clots that I had probably from a fall or an injury, we don't know, 45 years ago. And what sometimes happens with that condition is you get an ulcer. We always think of ulcers as in your tummy, which means something, a vein is leaking in your stomach. That's what we call an ulcer. But actually, any vein that is leaking has an ulcer. That's what an ulcer actually is. And in the healing process of that, and I work a lot with mind and body and spirit, soul, and body. You work at every level to bring forth your healing. And of course, the healing really can only begin to happen when we uplink and get in touch with the I Am presence, which is what has been called heretofore the still small voice. That's something within us that knows and knows that it knows. Ernest Holmes, the great philosopher from the last century, said intuition is the voice of God within the human being. So that still small voice, that I Am presence, is your direct relationship with the One. I am being a guest this Sunday at One Heart, One Mind in San Diego, One Heart, One Mind Spiritual Center for Spiritual Living. It's at 10:30 on Sunday if you choose to tune in. But I'll be talking on Sunday about, the title is actually called Soul Soup, and how important it is to begin to live from this soul nature of myself, my true and eternal nature, the I Am that I am. As was stated by the master teacher a long time ago, I am the resurrection and the light. And this is what you and I are about. It's not about any kind of religion. It's not about any kind of doctrine. It's about falling in to the truth of your eternal nature. Each one of us is a soul on a journey, a conscious gift from the center of the universe, Father, Mother, Creator, God, the source. Energy created itself out of itself to reveal itself to itself through itself. And that's what you and I are doing. I am that self, revealing the glory of myself, becoming conscious of my true and eternal nature while I am in a coat of skins, right? What Joel Goldsmith called the parentheses in eternity, from the now here to the nowhere to the now here. Each of these incarnations, each spirit, soul, and body, we find the perfect body for our perfect level of expression right now. And all of us here gathered in light and coffee with Casper, we're identifying ourselves as this I am presence, as this eternal one, as the image of the one given to itself, sometimes calls the Christ, the Buddha consciousness, Atman in the Hindu, Neshama in the ancient Jewish language. We are becoming aware of our eternal and divine nature and bringing that nature into our experience. And of course, if we're eternal and divine in nature, then peace must be at the center. Judge Thomas Troward said in the 1800s, harmony is heaven's first law, because eternality could not exist. It couldn't be eternal. Good morning from Albuquerque. Good morning from Central Oregon. Good morning from South Carolina. We're all north and south. Nice to see everybody this morning. So it is learning that this true nature of the I am that I am, this miracle of the self, the glory of the full bounty of the divine as me. Now, most of us are not living in that awareness. We're in between sometimes ecstasy and sometimes human torment and suffering. And of course, what we recognize is if we're not cooperating with the law of harmony, if we're not using the principles of peace and nonviolence to go forward, then that means we're in touch with our animal nature. And there is the left and right, the black and white, the dark and the light, all of these polarities, dualities that are not the nature of the soul. The soul is this and so much more. I am that and so much more. I am a human being. I have my animal nature. I have my capacity, as humans have for eons, to fall out of my nature. And this is the great remembering that's going on. And that great remembering is bringing forth, and here we are in the Easter season, the spring resurrection, the rising out of the ashes, the phoenix rising. And this is what happens as we are leaving the old paradigm behind. And as I was saying, in the struggles, in the invitation to my own healing, when I have seen these ulcers come, sometimes they're almost gone and then they come back again. And then it's almost gone and gets irritated and gets a little worse. And then it's almost gone, and we keep knowing peace, wholeness, divinity, the perfect pattern of the I am that I am is in place. And then at that moment, it actually goes. The ulcer heals. The healing happens. And that's what's happening as we're in this transition, as we're looking at this violence and aggression in the world happening in Ukraine. We see that this is an attempt to go backwards in time, to bring back dictatorships and emperors and empires and all of that which will no longer work. We need to come into the new paradigm where each and everyone is honored, where everyone understands the interconnection of all things. As the China syndrome says, if a butterfly flaps its wings in China, it changes everything. So what that's saying for is a movement all across the globe affects everything. Now we are aware, as we are observing a war and destruction and death and mayhem, that this is incorrect. And that's why we, the light workers, must continue to hold the love for life the appreciation of the planet, the appreciation of nature, and the glory of our own existence, we need to practice honoring that. Yes? And that's what we're all doing as we work here together with Coffee with Casper. We get together, we tune into that I am consciousness. We say, what is the I am consciousness asking me to do right now? What is the reason I put on this coat of skins? I came from the light, I put on a coat of skins. I will eventually be returning to the light, but I came with a mission and a purpose. And the purpose is to help humanity and the earth break free of these old paradigms that no longer are serving. And never mind that a step forward and two steps back, we are the light holders. We are the ones who are holding the light for a whole new possibility, the possibility of peace in earth and goodwill toward all humankind. And this will break out, not belonging to any religion, but belonging to all people, a universal principle that the creator of life itself, that energy that creates mass, and energy and mass are interchangeable, that divine source brought itself into creation intelligently, not for pain and destruction, but for the glory of life. I don't know if you can hear, but here in my yard, the birds are singing like crazy. It's springtime. They started singing at 6 o'clock this morning. And here it is 8:40 in California, and the birds are still singing. There's a joy in life, a presence in life, and you and I are the place where we become conscious of it. And it is our love for life, our passion about living, our passion about those that we love in our world, our friends and our family and those we're connected to, and allowing that to go into a love for the whole planet and all of life. And from there, we can be the place that says peace, peace, peace. And we keep bringing that peace forward. We bring it forward through ourselves, by practicing peace, by discovering that place where we're at center and we're in peace, and then bringing that peace through love and harmony into the world in our daily and regular expression. The way that we are doing our work, the colleagues that we're working with, the friends that we have, our beloved families, the way that we are with all of them has to come from this place of appreciation and passion about the beauty of life. That's what's called for right now. The more we put our attention on the passion and beauty of life, on the possibility of giant renewal, global renewal, the more we're going to bring forth the miracle that will be the peace that comes back to Ukraine and is restored to the leadership and the consciousness of the Russian people. Peace, peace, peace. There is no victor in war. War is not healthy for children and other living things. So it is time for humanity to step past it. And it's a challenging time, and that's why there's so many light workers present. You are a light worker. Your capacity to practice the peace reminds everybody that the light is infinitely more powerful than the human miscreations which have brought all of this turbulence and turmoil by believing that we are separate and not connected, when in truth everything is connected. We saw this the first time when from space we saw the pictures of the planet Earth, right? The pictures of the planet Earth don't have there's no lines, you don't see where one country begins and another country ends. There's only continents and ocean and this big blue ball. It's only one thing. One life manifests the whole thing. And everything is interconnected and interrelated, and therefore no man, no human is an island. So we know that we are the ones who must bring forth, for the benefit of our children and grandchildren and for the generations that follow, a new consciousness of peace, a new consciousness of the glory of each individual soul, honoring every race, color, creed, way of being, seeing life everywhere and appreciating it. You know, if you look at some funky bugs, there's a You ever seen those things? I don't know what they're called. They look like giant mosquitoes, but they're not mosquitoes. And in fact, they're pollinators. And we look at something that looks like a bug, it looks evil, and then we want to squish it. Well, it's not an evil bug, it's a pollinating bug. It's a helpful bug. It just happens to look like a bug that's not so helpful to humans, right? And yet, we can see that that's part of the beauty of life. Just because we don't relate to it doesn't mean we can't honor it and we can't love it, right? Every culture, every way of being, every person, everyone's uniqueness, there's room in us to love all of it, to find an appreciation at every level. My daughter-in-law doesn't, for whatever reason in her childhood, she doesn't like birds. Birds make her nervous. But that doesn't mean you can't appreciate birds. You just maybe don't want one as a pet. You can hear their music, you can see their beauty, you can see their ability to fly. I mean, we don't have to have birds as our favorite thing to appreciate birds, just like we don't necessarily want to be with jungle animals without being safe. Right? We want some kind of distance between us and some procedure between us and jungle animals, right? But we appreciate them, we see them, and we love them, and we can do that with all of life. You find the things that you want to be close to, and you identify with them. And then you bring those things into your life. And then the other things that you can appreciate from a distance, you can do that too. And that becomes an act of love. When we start appreciating all that is the earth, all that is the human condition, and forgive humanity for its indiscretions, which means, of course, we have to forgive each other for our indiscretions. There is indeed a cosmic forgiveness which we can use. It's a return to love. It's a canceling of the expectations and demands that everyone do it our way. And we can return to love. And that is the power of forgiveness. And light workers should be working on their forgiveness, because as we forgive, so shall that forgiveness come forward in all the human condition. So this is where we're working right now, to see through the mist, to see through the outer world and the terrible things that are happening in the outer world, to come back to our inner world, to find that peace, as they say, that passes all understanding, and then begin to be the place where that peace is present in the world. Right? Good morning from Texas. Good morning from Albuquerque. Nice to see everybody this morning. So I'm Harry Morgan Moses. We're gathering here. This is Coffee with Casper. It's just a gathering of light workers on Facebook and YouTube. And we're gathering to support one another in being the call for peace on the planet right now, when that's the primary thing. And we can only be that call for peace on the planet when we are in love with what we are, with what life is. When we become in love with our own life, and love with the life that's all around us, in love with nature all around us, in appreciation of all that is the earth, we can then bring that appreciation forward as our sense of peace, as our arriving at center, and humanity is changing because there are more light workers on the planet than there's ever been before. And how do you get more light? You put your attention on that which brings light, which is your enthusiasm, entheosasm, diving in to the beauty of what it is to be alive. And then to have faith in that eternal nature that brought you here on a mission to bring forth this peace onto the planet, to bring forth an awareness of our interconnectedness on the planet, to practice that connectedness, to practice bringing the light of awareness wherever we can bring it, and to know that even if somebody doesn't want to accept it, we can offer it. We can be a place where the light is shining and therefore becomes available to everyone. And as each of us are doing this all around the planet, we are changing the consciousness of the race, of the human race itself, from human doings to human beings celebrated what it is to be alive and in expression and in activity on the planet. But of course, that celebration means we honor everybody's right to find the deepest levels of joy and peace and poise and grace and providence in their own lives. But if we're not practicing it, we can't expect others to do it. This is ours to do, to find that place of peace within us, to find that joy that is life itself, to know that we can be born anew. And it belongs to all traditions to be that which is renewal, that which is the phoenix rising, that which is the resurrection, is everybody's right to rise up into their true and eternal nature, and then to bring that nature into expression through the body, through the very presence of our lives. And that's what's up right now. Yes, the war hurts. Yes, seeing unnecessary suffering hurts. And we open ourselves to that compassion, and then we find what motivates us to go beyond it, which is this enthusiasm and theosasm, being in love with the one, and therefore my expression of myself as that one, and the earth as its expression as that one, and the stars in the heavens as its expression as that one, to begin to return to awe and wonder, and bring that awe and wonder into our daily lives, into the lives of everyone who touches our experience, because we're taking the time to move inside, where all of the waves of miscreations are not touching us. They're there, but we can see through the mist and live from a different place. This is ours to do. You're a light worker. Share this video with anybody you know, electronically, digitally, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Go on and like, go on and follow. Let's make a difference. Let's keep growing this circle of awareness and touching base week by week, so that we're empowered to more comfortably live our lives and fulfill our purpose. Who you are is something special. I'll look forward to seeing you next week on Coffee with Casper. Until we meet again, we invite you to go in the light, as the light, and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. Hey there, Walter. Thanks for joining us today. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Come back and see us next week on Coffee with Casper. We'll see you then. Bye for now. You go say goodbye to your friends? Look at it. Who's over there? Who's over here? Look over here. The camera's over there. There's your people. There's your people. There they are. Okay. See you later. Bye.